Very good. Thank you so much. We are on page 321 of Chazon Ovadia, and we left off saying, is there cooking after baking or frying? What did we say? Applies or no? Cooking after baking or frying. According to Sephardim,
No.
there's not. According to Ashkenazim, it does. What is a blessing recited over a thick dough that has been fried, like chalpak, like donuts, musufganiot? It's like bread, but you fry it.
Mezonot.
Mezonot, very good. Remember?
Why would it? What else would it be?
No, according to some opinions, it is hamotzi. And we said why it's important for us to know that this is mezonot is because the frying it's considered to be cooking. That's why you're allowed to, even according to Ashkenazim, to cook something that was already fried. Because maybe there is no problem of cooking after cooking, no matter which way you cooking it again, like Sephardim say. And even we're going to say there is a problem, maybe frying considered to be also cooking. And therefore cooking it after it was fried before Shabbat, and now you want to heat it up again in liquid on Shabbat, will be allowed to do. Why? Because there is no cooking after cooking. But Rabbi, this was fried. Oh, frying is like cooking. Where do we know frying is like cooking? From the fact that you frying a dough, you're only supposed to say mezonot on a cooked dough.
Because it's
Why you are on the fried dough, so also mezonot? Oh, it must be that frying equals to cooking. Clearly? Clear? Very good. Then we spoke in page 322, is it allowed to pour cold milk into a very hot cup of coffee? What we said? Are we allowed to do that or no?
Yes.
May what we learned?
What will I know?
Cold milk pouring into a hot cup of coffee. Hot, palakas.
No problem. Why? Because milk is already cooked.
Very good. That's one answer. Second answer.
Pasteurized.
Second reason.
And also is
Shalom, Joe.
כלי שני לא מבשל.
Oh, kli sheni lo mevashel. Very good.
כלי שני לא מבשל.
Now, Meir Joe, how do we know kli sheni lo mevashel applies to milk? Maybe milk is so sensitive it will be cooked. Maybe milk or other liquids considered to be easily cooked. Shalom, remember there is a concept in Halakha called easily cooked items, kale bishul. Remember that concept? So Sephardim, we hold of kale bishul or no? Or we only have kale
Only
without
kala.
bishul?
Kala. No bishul.
Huh? How do we hold? Shalom John and his friend. What's your name? Natan. Natan Abavli Omer. Rabbi Natan Abavli Omer. No? Bavela, da. Chacham al Shebo. What do we consider? Do we have concept of kale bishul or no? We Sephardim have that
I
concept or
don't
no?
think so.
So Rav Yosef says we don't have that concept.
Oh, I was right.
And that's why Rav Yosef in Yechaveh Dat in Chelek Vav holds you're allowed to put tea, nana leaves, mint leaves,
On tea.
inside kli sheni.
Tea.
Samavar you pour into a cup. That hot cup, you're allowed to put nana, fresh nana that was never cooked before.
anything. How about cinnamon and
Why?
ginger?
Because
Same thing.
No kale bishul.
kli sheni
לא ישנה.
lo
Across the
mevashel.
board.
You hear this?
It's the
Based on
Gemara's.
this, it says, Be'emet, as they say in English, between us, the same thing should be for chai. You can pour hot water into a cup and then put the chai here. You don't have to make lish lishi. Because you just told me that the kale bishul concept does not apply to Sephardim. Be'emet, in Chazon Ovadia in Chelek Daled, he says, better to be strict, not to do so.
Yeah.
Tov le'achmir. What do you hear from this
לא
language?
ברכה.
Not avo bracha.
Ah.
Tov le'achmir.
אבל ברכה is it?
You'll be rewarded separately.
He says, Tov le'achmir.
Good to be strict.
To do kli shlishi. What is tov le'achmir means? It's the law, or this is good to be strict?
To be strict.
So this, you see, Bechor, Meir,
I know this.
that you're allowed to in kli sheni.
Yeah. Long time. I learned it with you.
Yeah.
Maybe 13 years ago.
Huh? No, Iru, Rav Ovadia doesn't allow. There's other rabbis allow, but Rav Ovadia doesn't allow. This it doesn't allow. But pour the hot water into an empty cup on Shabbat, and then put the chai inside there, Rav Yosef says, good to be strict not to do so. But we learn from this language, you don't say, it's good to be strict not to eat pig. Right? You don't say like that. It's asur to eat pig. So it's good not to cheat with married women. You know, it's good not to do so.
אסור.
Asur, Gehinom. Break Shabbat, married women or pig. Which one is the worst?
Shabbat.
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 Skila.
So if it would be asur, would you use the language tov leachmir, good to be strict, or you say asur 100%?
Asur.
What language you should have used? Asur. What Rabbi Yosef says?
Asur.
Tov leachmir, good to be strict. What do you understand from this, Ari? By the letter of the law, it's allowed to make the chai inside kli sheni?
problem. Next.
Letter of the law. Mr. Zamistitzik?
No.
Allowed or no? Letter of the law?
Allowed.
Allowed.
Next.
If you want to make a full version of him, you have to say mutar,
Mutar.
and then the next comes.
Next. Right now.
Shabbat, no strict.
Shabbat? Shabbat is the highest one against the whole Torah. Habab, the whole Torah. Gemara says, Masechet Chulin Daf Hey, if a person has v'shalom denies Shabbat, denies the entire Torah.
Kofir בעיקר, да?
Yeah. If a person is gay, does not deny the entire Torah. Gay. Same level of punishment. Sekila and sekila. But he doesn't deny the whole Torah. If a gay comes to minyan, you can count him for minyan.
Wow.
Wow.
He's married to a man, Meir Rabbi. He's doing things with a man. You can count him from minyan.
Wow.
But if it's Mehalel Shabbat, you cannot count him from minyan.
Я никогда не встречал гей, которого живет шаббат.
No, unfortunately,
Есть
Meir,
такие?
unfortunately, Meir, right now, there is.
Я никогда не встречал.
There were Shomer Shabbat.
Baruch Hashem.
And then the whole media that it's okay, it's normal, some people are born like that, you know, they think like
No,
they belong to that group
Rabbi,
and they end up doing averot.
No, say not, it's not allowed.
Right? Of course it's not allowed. Nobody said it's allowed. I said they're both the same level of death, sekila and sekila.
Yeah, same
But
age.
which one is, Hashem says this, that's it, you're out of the Judaism.
Out of my nation.
What is that? Chilul Shabbat. That's how serious it is.
Even for coffee, I always put kelishenish.
בסדר, מחמיר. But what's halacha? We're here learning halacha. What's the letter of the law?
But nobody cooks in a keli rishon. Nobody puts the tea in the samara.
Well, you could.
You always take out of the
No,
samara.
if I have water on the chainik, in the plata, and I want to put the coffee inside there. There's a guy told me always when he makes real coffee, he says, he makes it on a slow, at a low fire, cooking the coffee for a long time. He says,
Turkish coffee.
it's the best coffee ever.
So Turkish coffee.
Yeah?
In the first keli rishon.
Yeah?
That's why.
But if it's already cooked, so you can even do in keli rishon.
I mean, but it's not cooked. It's roasted. Are we allowed to cook after roasting or no?
Roasting is considered roasting.
Yes.
What we said?
Ashkenazim not allowed.
Very good. But what about cooking after frying? Can Ashkenazi allow it or no?
Yes.
Cooking after frying, not after cooking.
No, they machmir.
So,
Also machmir?
huh?
Frying also machmir?
I give you an example. Shalom, I give you an example. A person had fried meat. Friday afternoon for the kids, he put fried meat. The kids, you know how they are.
Fried chicken, shenitza.
They 50% left on the plate. Another 50 or whatever 50 they took is in their mouth. The other 50 is in the floor. That's how kids are, right? That's usually the ratio. Oh, I got John Shalom. Now, on Friday night, you meet a guy in the Kaneso, say, Rabbi John, I'm so sorry to land on you like this last second. Can I come to you tomorrow morning? Why? I don't have, it happened to me a few times, people. Last second, boom. Rabbi, I don't have where to go. Can I come? I said, of course you can come. So Rabbi, I'm a little bit embarrassed. I said, I should be embarrassed. I didn't think about you. Few times, people ask, last second. I come to my home, and the guest is with me. My wife said, why didn't you tell me anything? I said, I didn't know.
Big shalom bayit probably is, no?
No, not a big shalom bayit. How much a person eats. So,
No, it's not about eating, it's about, asking the boss, So like a shalom bayit class.
what if it comes to your Friday Meir in the Kaneso? It tells you, I don't have where to go. Welcome
Welcome to Rabbi.
Always say, I might come back with somebody.
Yeah, you
It happened. Now, it happened to me many times. Not once, not twice, not three, not four, many times.
If you're a rabbi.
Many times. And I'm very happy anytime they come. The Ben Ishcha, Baal Shem Tov says, you're bringing bracha of refuah shlema to all your family.
Wow.
And he says, how do you say oreach? How do you spell oreach? Aleph, Vav, Reish, Chet. It says, when you're bringing a guest into your house, you're bringing the light of the eighth into your house. It says, look at the Tfilat Shmona Esrei. מגן אברהם, מחיי המתים, האל הקדוש, חונן הדעת, החשיבנו, סלח לנו, גאלנו, רפאנו. What's number 8? So he says, he says, anytime you have a sickness in the house, bring right away guests into your house.
Number 8.
Meir, right away bring a sick guy into the house.
Sick guy?
It's the sick guy. It's the sick guy is going to come to your house.
Sick.
No, sorry, I mean,
Guest.
guests, sorry. The sick people in your house gonna get the light of the eighth. And it says that's the secret of the word oreach, or of the head, of the eighth one.
Oh, oreach. Oh,
That's the guess in Hebrew. Oreach.
Rabbi, if this is the case, we're going to do Chona Gashtag.
Do whatever needs to be done in order to heal your children.
Friday night.
Instead of going to,
write this down.
instead of going through all this, how do you call this? Antibiotics. Any doctor you go, antibiotics. So, John Halos, antibiotics.
Sometimes the influence, you bring them, it's not good for the kids.
Okay, we're not talking bad influence. Talking about good people. Just don't have where to go. Every time it happens to me, I say, Baruch Hashem, they come to me. Be'emet, I'm saying from the bottom of my heart, Baruch Hashem. Now, Meir, Friday night, you tell your wife, listen, tomorrow morning he's also coming. She said, I didn't put enough meat in the osvo. And the children.
That's never the case in our house.
Can you, Meir, can you tell her, Jonah, no problem. Afternoon, Friday, the meat, you fry it for the kids. Open the osvo.
For us, no problem.
Huh?
It's already made.
It's gonna cook right now.
It's cooked already.
It was fried before.
Fried is cooking for us, for Bukharin. I mean,
Good for Sephardi.
What if
Good.
the guest is Ashkenazi?
But no, the guest. What if your wife is Ashkenazi? I mean to say, yeah, the husband and wife.
Because
No,
you
she's
go by
following-
husband
she's
side.
following-
Very good. If you Sephardi, Ashkenazi wife goes after Sephardi. What if the husband and the wife are Ashkenazim? Can they do the same thing? Open the pot osvo night, to Friday night, and throw inside the fried meat?
If they have guests, Bukharim, yes.
Amir?
No, that's it. No.
So Halakha should say no. Says Rabbi Yosef, allowed. Why?
Ashkenazi?
Ashkenazim. So why should it be allowed? So because even according to the Ashkenazim, there is some room to say that frying is like cooking.
Yeah.
Where'd you get this frying like cooking? So look, if you take a thick dough and you cook it, it's mezonot. If you bake it, it's amotzi. What if you fry it?
Hamotzi.
What do you say on a donut, on sufganiyot, on chalpak? Mezonot. Only on cooked dough you're supposed to say mezonot.
dough.
Why the fried dough you say mezonot? No, because it's like cookie. So here we have a double doubt. Maybe there is no problem of cooking after cooking or cooking after baking, frying, toasting, roasting, chochochish. Any combination will be allowed according to us, right? And even you're going to say, listen, but according to Re'em, Rabbi Eliezer Mimetz said there is a problem over here that Ashkenazim follow him. Maybe that's only applies cooking after baking or cooking after toasting or cooking after roasting, but not cooking after frying. Because frying has some sort of cooking connection to also. So it'll be considered like cooking after cooking, which even Ashkenazim allow.
Only on Shabbat to bring oreach?
Huh?
Oreach only on Shabbat? Or
No, oreach is all the time. And by the way, Rabotai, oreach is only a person that has no place to go. That's the real oreach. Whatever, you hear Chagai, real oreach is the people that don't have another place to go.
But any time of the year.
Any time of the year. If a person is just having company, Davai Butulku Zakonchim, Lachaim Buchaim Simcha Yerushalayim, Rabbi, I cannot drink Butulka by myself. I gotta have a company. Padrukomot and Izachochit. So he's bringing a guest.
Rabbi, many times
It's called partner for the bottle.
You have problems in the house.
Ani vahu, Hoshiana.
We're going to go to the rabbi to eat.
Чемпионат по
To go outside somehow.
алкоголю.
Yeah. He needs a company for the alcohol. So that's not oreach. You should know. Sometimes people call their domo, their father-in-law, mother-in-law, sister-in-law. Well, I guess it's boring to sit by ourselves. Instead of fighting with a wife, I rather have a guest this way. The wife is quiet. So he's bringing the guest. Why? Not because the guest has nowhere to go. The guest has plenty of food and plenty of options to himself. Just because he wants to have a company. That's not considered to be guest.
Kite my shot.
What's the
There's no mitzvah, chesed, אהבת לך כמוך, other type of mitzvot, but not מצוות אורחים. הכנסת אורחים, Gemara says, גדולה הכנסת אורחים, יותר מקבלת פני השכינה. More than welcoming God. He's welcoming people that don't have. Where the Gemara says we know it from? Avraham Avinu. That Avraham Avinu tells to Hashem, wait Hashem, al na ta'abor al avdecha, me'al avdecha. Do not leave Hashem. Oh, let me just bring the guests in. Are you talking to Shekhinah? What do you mean? Says the Gemara, from here we learn that welcoming guests is bigger mitzvah than to speak to the Shekhinah.
And then that's according to Rosh. Who?
Is my phone ringing? Yours?
So that's
Did I
according
put
to-
an airplane?
I don't know.
No?
So that's
Or a helicopter. What did I put?
That's according to who?
He doesn't show you the sign, huh? The
Ureach is according to who?
Baal Shem Tov.
Oh,
Or Het. That's what he says over there. Okay, back to us. So now,
Amir going to invite everybody now.
why not? Bezrat Hashem. Bezrat Hashem. Sometimes, Rabotai, there are people collecting from Eretz Israel or other Rosh Yeshivas are coming here, and they come Friday, they don't have where to go. You see, this guy said, you in my house, come. Take the mitzvah. Because to find a koreach in America, it's very hard. Everybody, Baruch Hashem, have houses, food, money, everything on their own. To find the real koreach, it's very hard. When you have these opportunities, jump on these opportunities. That's the real achnasat.
Especially on
Orchim.
Shabbat and Chagim.
How
How
about
much
this
more so?
person that he has a place to stay? Is let's say he's your neighbor, but he has a baby, and the wife is overwhelmed with a lot of babies. You want to say,
Come, no
to
problem,
me.
same thing. He has nowhere to go right now.
It's also
Right now, he has no
alcohol.
option. Yeah, mitzvah.
He can also have an option stay home. Like,
But where is the? He's not staying home and eat the walls. He has to eat food. But where's the food? Where's the
he's gonna
cleaning?
eat,
Where's
but
the
he's not
setting?
gonna eat like you know, the best.
So that's why Chabad houses are open.
Yeah, for people that don't
Because
have.
they follow Baal Shem Tov.
Yeah,
They always do. Everything
yeah,
for you is Baal Shem Tov.
yeah. Back to us. Now,
So it's okay, right? You make a l'chaim buchaim, shmui yishaim.
yeah. You should not drink alcohol, Rabotai. I told it to you. You're ruining your health, your seed, your brain, and your liver. Everything gets ruined. Nothing helpful
What
from that.
doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
No.
Isn't that true? or
No,
not?
that's not true. So start eating garbage. Say, it's not going to kill me. I'm going to get stronger.
No, sometimes they give you like bacteria to
What?
improve.
What, Smatri? He's not going to kill you. He's going to make you stronger. Пожалуйста, with the papers. You going to eat it? No. Why? No, Rabbi.
Garbage.
Not healthy. What are you talking about?
Sometimes you mad, upset. You have to take 1-2 shots to.
So you have to take emunah shots, not alcohol shots. Johnny Khalfish.
It's called
First of all,
okay,
alcohol shots.
Okay.
Let's go.
Relax, that's it.
Next.
Smiling.
We have to, Rabotai, put an end to this alcohol in our system. We have to take it out of our system.
Hi guys.
Is it permissible to pour hot water from Kli Rishon onto tea leaves on Shabbat? So now we are on page 326, learning the new topic. It is allowed to pour hot water directly from Kli Rishon onto tea leaves because the tea leaves, it is prohibited to pour hot water because the tea leaves are going to get cooked. Could put the tea leaves and directly from Samavar on top of the tea leaves, not allowed on Shabbat. The vessel into which the water is poured does not qualify as Kli Sheni in this case, as the action involves Irui Mikeli Rishon, pouring directly from a Kli Rishon, primary vessel, on the tea. According to the halacha, Irui Mikeli Rishon cooks the outermost layer, Kedek Klipa. And since tea leaves are so thin that Kedek Klipa effectively encompasses their entirely, this action is considered to fully cook them. Person is by pouring hot water on Shabbat on the tea leaves, considered to be cooking the tea leaves 100%. That's like directly pouring on the tea leaves, according to Avad Yosef.
Можно
Not
полить?
allowed.
Вот это, например, поставить вот это на tea.
On the tea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like let's say you make a tea. You put
It's the
it
same
in-
thing like tea.
Same
the
thing
mint.
like whatever you saying.
The mint.
Yeah, in klisheni, but don't put it in the cup and pour directly on it, mate.
Irui.
Only after you pour the hot
Let's say if I
water.
go like this is gonna be cooking.
Yeah, if directly it's gonna be irui. Irui kli rishon, mevashel kede klipa. Pouring directly from the samavar.
I thought Kedek Klipa doesn't apply to us.
Well, of course applies. The Shulchan Aruch. This everybody agree on
You
this.
just said Kedek Klipa doesn't apply.
Kale bishul doesn't apply. Very good. Number 2.
מה זה? אבל אנחנו למדנו זה עם ה-leaves. With the leaves. With the nana leaves and all other stuff leaves.
Nana leaves, we said, into kli sheni. Not directly pour on it. After you pour the hot water, it's in kli sheni. Then you put the nana leaves. But not putting the nana leaves first and then pour the hot water, because the hot water is going to heat the leaves and it's going to cook it.
Same thing with that.
Yeah, in kli sheni.
With tea bag.
אבל זה כבר כלי שני, מה זה משנה מה הוא עושה?
It's kli sheni only once it was touching the walls of the cup, then your leaves are coming inside. That's kli sheni. But if it's in the cup and you're pouring directly from the samovar, you are heating the hot water first off to the leaves and then goes to the cup. Right. That's not called kli sheni. That's called irui mikli rishon. Pouring from kli rishon. Pouring from kli rishon is cooking.
But if you can put anything into the keli shani, then why not put a tea bag? The tea, there's nothing to cook.
Tea bag also we have problem with that.
No, to put it inside. After.
When? After you put the hot
Yeah,
water?
that was a problem.
I know about what it says.
We said better not to do it.
I know, but I'm just trying to understand what's it. So why
Because
not
some say it's
for
kaleh
everything
bishul.
else?
I asked this question from few rabbis, and they said because the minhag of the people was to allow chai only in kli shlishi. So now don't break that minhag. That's better to keep this minhag.
When we
But
can-
chai is
However,
from- chai is from plants.
the nana leaves, it says even though they are similar, but people were not commonly doing chai nana leaves.
it's not
So there was
common.
not like a minhag about this to do in kli shlishi.
because
So they
that-
allowed it in kli sheni as the halacha
It's
really
not
allowed.
regular, that's why it's not.
Right. But באמת, קירוב, נינת שיניים, כי קירוב ג'ון, נינת שיניים. ברוך השם, учится.
Rabbi, today Shalom Arush in Brooklyn.
Rabbi Shalom Arush, yes. You want to go meet him? Go meet him. He's a big chacham. He publicized a lot of Torah in the world.
Son, he went to him.
all these books.
Yeah, he's very powerful. He healed a lot of
Oh, why are you
families.
going there? Is Shalom Baidi doing? I said, no, it's good.
I saw him in Uman 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him in my
Не
dream.
был никогда, Зухот не был. Говорят, его похоронили в Израиле. Когда мне уже зашло, я говорю, знаете,
I knew that, Meir. I saw this, that they say that he buried in Israel, but I still went. You know why? Because I didn't go only for him. I went because of the atmosphere. It's a very interesting
I
atmosphere.
don't know, I cannot leave my family on Rosh Hashanah, I don't know.
Baal Shem Tov.
Каришь ему микву, зашли к нему?
Baal Shem Tov
Family
mikveh.
is number one.
Да. Rabbi Nachman.
But Rabbi,
There is no Karishim mikveh there.
Большой миква.
The Agam.
Rabbi, what do you say
No.
was
לא
against?
אגן, המקווה עצמו. מקווה там от батареи уже вода желтая становится.
I don't know. I went to a few mikvahs there. This I didn't see.
Вот именно Rabbi Nachman Meuman.
Rabbi Avadia was against it.
Once again, if your wife is not happy with that, he says you're leaving your wife. No, if your wife is happy for that, it's no problem.
Only Bruri.
Your wife wants to go right now to Eretz Israel on Rosh Hashanah to pray by the Kotel. Is it a problem?
How much percentage you will say yes?
Okay, if she says yes, it says, Kikirov, I want you to go this year, Rosh Hashanah, you by Yom Kippurim in the Kotel. She wants you to do that. Why not?
Where is Baal Shem Tov buried?
Baal Shem Tov there, I was by him also. In
Also
Ukraine.
in Ukraine?
Yeah.
Same
No,
place?
not saying. It's like 2 hours away, 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Okay. If one only poured from a keli rishon on them before Shabbat, is he allowed to pour again from keli rishon on Shabbat?
No cooking after cooking.
Okay, it's before Shabbat.
Mutar, next.
Новый муля бихор появился. А где бихор это? А?
Чего не пришел?
Алфа?
He went to do mitzvah.
Он вам звонит, может быть, он хочет прийти.
If the tea
На
leaves,
линии он слушает.
if the tea leaves were cooked on Erev Shabbat, before Shabbat, and the water finished, leaving only the leaves, even if some moisture remains, it is allowed to pour hot water directly on them,
And they're not dry.
even from Keli Rishon.
And if they're not dry.
This is even if it's not completely dry. You know, so here right now, you drink this chai right now, right?
Like this,
Здесь,
the
да,
tea
как
bag.
бы
Tea bag is still wet.
Yeah. But this tea bag you made in Kli Sheni. I don't know. Did you pour directly? Ah, okay. So you did it right. Now on Shabbat, can you pour again on that tea bag or no?
I guess now.
Directly.
Now yes.
If you're doing one time before Shabbat. If you're doing one before Shabbat, directly on the tea leaves.
It's already cooked, that's why.
Would you be allowed to do it second time on Shabbat?
No problem.
Says Avad Yosef, no problem, even if it's a little bit moist left
Only
behind.
if you did it.
This is because the majority, namely the leaves,
Cooked.
are solid, and there is no cooking after cooking for solids. Like a person wants to reheat bachsh, schnitzel, eggs, potatoes. Can you do that on Shabbat or no?
Yes.
Allowed. Why? Because it's solid. There is no cooking after cooking for solid.
Even
Mishnah
soup is not a
Brura.
problem if you have go.
Yeah. So he's kaifu chasuf every Shabbat. The Mishnah Brura states that even if hot water from the Kli Rishon was poured on them on Erev Shabbat, it remains allowed to pour from a Kli Rishon again on Shabbat. However, some disagree.
Раба, если этот уборщица на вас работает на шаббат, ей можно говорить, поставь этот суп?
Yeah, allowed, yeah. Because we learned that the cooking after cooking by liquid is debatable. For us, safek doraita
She's
lechumra.
working for you.
For goy that works for you, safek derabanan lekula. זה учили же.
How do we look at Oshpocha?
Oshpocha is soup.
Leave it out in room temperature, it becomes solidified.
По-другому, нет?
It's room temperature is not solidified.
Нельзя говорить.
You can do халатец, aber
No. As soon as you take it out of the fridge, it's solidified. But leave it like this for room temperature.
Leave it room temperature.
How long? For 2 to 3 days, it's gonna stay solidified.
Rabbi,
No, for a few hours, it's going to become solidified.
Oh, you mean not from the fridge?
Not from the fridge, no. Like if she leaves it out, it becomes solidified. Is that considered soup or is that considered a solid?
It's a good point. If it's solidified, and room temperature, it's solid.
Temperature.
It's solid.
it's gonna
I
be.
always told her no before, but when we were learning it, and she said it.
Maybe it could be lenient. Yeah, it could be lenient. It's like the fat. Fat. What solid
like
solidifies the
really
fat?
fat,
Yeah, and fat is Maran says it's allowed. Look, Maran, Shin Yud Chet. Open Shin Yud Chet. I believe Sif Tetvav. Open it. 318. Well, just Mishnah Berurah Bula. Oh, or Shulchan Aruch, whatever.
Rabbi, when are we going to do parasha or Emunah class?
Parasha.
I did recently. I posted it.
Emunah.
Recently, I put it in.
Last week.
Last
Thursday.
week, I did.
About
Wednesday.
Emunah?
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Is that when I was sick?
I
I
wasn't
posted
here.
it. And every Shabbat, Meir, we have Emunah here. Every Shabbat.
Shabbat and Yom Kippur.
You have to
We
come.
gotta do every day. Like
But Mishnah Berurah and Shulchan Aruch is the same now?
Rabbi,
Yes, John.
if you have table on Shabbat, beautiful table, and some new recipe over there, can you tell your goy, I like the table, make sure that table is getting in my mind after Shabbat.
In what?
So she's taking the phone and make a picture.
Wait, what?
It's allowed, no?
Yeah. You didn't tell her to take the picture.
A picture?
She could have remembered.
Впечатлить этот стол быстро.
Что ты сказал?
Впечатлить этот стол.
Я не знаю, что это слово. Впечатливый. Маза впечатливый.
Впечатлить.
Маза.
Means like remember.
Memory.
How?
Make
Do I
sure
take a
it's
picture?
No, I didn't
Ah, okay.
take picture.
Okay.
No, I wanted this memory.
Rabbi Yosef says if you have a buffet on Shabbat, the buffet הייתה, איך זה נקרא? Waitress, מלצרים, waiters? How do you call this? Waiters.
Cater the heart.
No, catering has buffet that you serve yourself, and there's waitress that you sit and they serve you. And you tell them, I table this, he wants this, he wants that, he wants this, he wants that, and the guy has a hard time to remember. He takes out a pen and a paper, Shabbat, he writes it down. What do you want? You want tilapia? Which sauce? Like this. Okay, it's tilapia like this. What do you want? I want salmon like this. Okay, salmon like
No
that.
problem. No problem.
As you say, he's writing it down.
It's no problem.
Allowed or no?
You're not telling him
Says
to write
Avadi
down.
allowed. Why?
You're not telling him to write down.
Why? I didn't tell him to write.
Yeah.
I told him what I want.
He's doing
For
for
him not
himself.
to forget and come back every single time. Hey, what did you want? Tilapia or you wanted salmon or this one? Not to get confused, to make his life easier. He wrote it down.
Mutar,
Потому что она по башке получит.
parasha.
And so too the Mishnah Berurah wrote. However, some disagree, arguing that on Erev Shabbat only the outer layer of the leaves was cooked, and those leaves could mix when water is poured on them on Shabbat, causing the remaining uncooked part to be cooked to the extent of the outer layer. Therefore, it is advisable to cook the tea leaves in the water on the fire before Shabbat. This ensures they are thoroughly cooked making it permissible to pour even from a Kli Rishon directly on them, again on Shabbat. You hear? Maybe tea bag will be not a good example, because typically all the tea leaves are locked in the bag. If before Shabbat, a person took loose leaves, and he poured directly what you have in the bottom over here, loose leaves, not tea bag. Yeah, loose leaves over here.
Okay.
And you pour directly
Okay.
from Samavat before Shabbat.
For Shabbat, okay.
The outer layer, kedei klipa, of those leaves that were on top, got the heat from the water.
Right.
So they got cooked kedei
got
klipa.
cooked already.
And since they all thoroughly, they are kedei klipa, very thin, we say they all got cooked.
Right.
What happens to the leaves below those leaves?
Also get cooked.
Huh?
Also get cooked.
They get cooked how? Secondary step.
Second.
The first makkah, the first heat, is
the
going
top.
to the upper layer. That's the opinion of the other opinions. They say, listen, you tell people that if you do the chai before Shabbat Kli Rishon, and the remaining you're allowed to pour again. I'm sorry, he says. Whenever you pour, the thing gets mixed, the tea leaves. So now whenever you drink the entire chai, you finished, you have right now the leaves. Who told you that the upper leaves that's sitting right now on top is those leaves that was before also? Maybe those are the not cooked leaves originally. They got mixed. So by you pouring right now again on Shabbat, you're pouring over leaves that only wet, that are not cooked. Not every wet leaf is a cooked leaf.
Safek, Derabanan.
No, Jonah. Cooking on Shabbat is safek. The oraita. Safek, the oraita.
After cooking.
No cooking after cooking when it was for surely cooked. It was not for sure cooked. Maybe it was not cooked.
Rabbi, we
These leaves.
said before, it's automatically cooking.
What?
When you put it from the Kli Rishon, automatically to the it's automatically cooks everything. We said.
Бехо?
Вот вы десятый, шхину принесли с собой.
О, такая шляпа.
Король зашли мы, да?
Как король. Король Квинса.
Бехо. They all give you ideas what to dress up on Purim like.
Белую шапку одеть.
Вот такая цадыка выглядит.
Если белую шапку.
Бехо.
Why is
On Purim, what do you dress up like? What was yours?
Кого его? No, белую одеть.
Rabbi, so why is cooking? This leaf already being cooked, even though it's secondary, it's cooked already.
It's not cooked. The makkah, the first hit gets those leaves.
If it's staying inside the water, it's getting later.
Getting secondary klisheni. He didn't get the heat.
Wow.
What got the heat? The one that were on the top, not the one on the bottom.
Not true.
What's
When
not
you-
true?
When you're pouring the water, the leaves coming up. It's mixing in the cup.
Again, it mixing whenever it reaches the bottom. But what gets the heat? The makkah. When you pour the hot water.
Everything.
Удар же это получает первый. No, of course, what are you talking about?
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna demonstrate now.
Oh, go
Принеси
demonstrate.
самовар сейчас.
Принеси. Бехор, где будет? Будет. Боже, Ива.
Это Рамсвали купит.
Okay, so that's why Bechor, not everybody allow, if you make chai before Shabbat, into loose leaves
Yes.
from Kli Rishon, you cannot pour second time on Shabbat. Because maybe the leaves that got the heat originally got mixed up, or they are on the bottom, and new leaves are already on top. And on Shabbat you're going to cook right now the new leaves. That's not allowed to. פעם idea. Kli Shlishi. Yeah. But
Special.
Hey, רגע, my coffee.
Look, you're taking this one. It's mixing. You see? Everything is mixed.
Yeah, but
nothing.
again, what mixed? The first leaves
It's dry.
get the makkah and the mix. I saw it goes up and mix.
That's it.
But the first makkah goes on this.
If this gonna stay now, it's gonna be cooked everything.
It's not gonna be cooked. It's klisheni.
Meaning pouring from the first cup you cannot do on top of it.
First you do,
But
first
you
we
fill
do
it up,
from
then
top.
you put it, then
You have to
you
do
dump
from
it.
the
He wants to
samovar
give you
itself.
the example, the idea, the demonstration of the idea. The makkah goes here, Chagai. Then he mixes, but he gets that and he goes and he flips it. You understand? But makkah got on
But
this.
we said, what is it called, before Shabbat. So
Nachon.
before Shabbat,
So
you
before
take the
Shabbat,
hot
you heat this
from
one.
the kettle, you put it inside the thing.
This one got hurt, got the heat. Then he mixes. Now, on Shabbat, you finish the liquid. What sits on top? Which leaves? The one that got the heat or no? I don't know.
You don't know. No.
So since Rabbi Yosef says you don't know, Safek deoraita lechumra.
Also, if you don't know, you cannot do it again.
Right.
Why in this case
But-
you don't know? You don't know.
but-
It's not
But look at this. What happens in this?
over here the same thing.
Oh no, so that's the same thing.
Because it's closed, you don't know. I mean,
Here is all locked in.
okay.
Yes.
So what? You pour the hot water.
But it's
Okay.
not,
What about the kettle?
it's already cooked.
What about kettle?
It's already,
If before Shabbat you cooked it, how did
it's
you cook
already
it?
cooked even before it comes in the bag.
Not cooked, roasted.
It's the same thing.
No,
But what about
no,
kettle?
let me, what about oil? חכה, הוא שואל, אתה שואל קופץ. שנייה. If a person has roasted coffee, can he make again hot water on the roasted coffee? Roasted coffee.
Experimentalny шахатите.
Not from the first.
From the first, can you do it or no? Huh?
If it's
Why?
instant coffee only.
Because there is no cooking
After
after roasting.
roasting, whatever. yeah,
נכון?
same thing. Right.
נכון?
According to Ashkenazi, it's gonna be a problem.
Good. Question to you. Is the coffee that goes roasted is really edible? What's the reason we say there is no cooking after cooking? Because once it's already got edible,
That's what it's.
there is no more problem to make it more edible.
Right.
It's already got edible. Question says Ravadia, coffee that is roasted, is it edible?
Yeah, you said you used to eat with the sugar.
Oh. So what's the reason we say there is no cooking after the roasting? Because it's already edible.
Right.
Chai, is it edible? Right now I'm gonna open you that bag. You're gonna eat it?
Never edible. It's never edible.
So says Ravadia, when do we say there is no cooking after roasting? When the roasting made that
Edible.
edible. Are the tea leaves, the roasted process made the tea leaves edible?
No.
Oh, so we back to as it's not edible. So if you're gonna pour directly from Samavar on the tea leaves on Shabbat, you made it right now drinkable on Shabbat.
Even tea bag.
But it was already roasted before Shabbat. You're not gonna help because the
Tea bag.
roasting is not comparable to the coffee. The coffee roasting made it edible. Our tea leaves didn't make it edible. That's Ravad Yosef's claim.
You live with tea bag.
Bag, leaf, chochoch.
Tea bag.
Oh, chochochish. That's in the first time on Shabbat, you're not allowed to take fresh chai bag, tea bag, and pour directly from the samavar, says Ravadia. Because Irui Kli Rishon is going to cook it.
Or you can put a water and then.
Nachon, that's Kli Sheni. But Irui from Kli Rishon will not be allowed. Now, what if I did before Shabbat one time? Can I do it second and empty? The cup is finished like this. Can I right now pour directly again on that tea bag or no?
It's not
No
edible.
problem.
You're not allowed.
Huh?
It's not edible.
So on this one probably will be allowed. Why?
Why?
Because over here the tea leaves doesn't get mixed like in the cup.
Yeah, but it's not edible.
It's not good edible. It was already cooked.
But it's the
No
same
cooking
concept,
after
Rabbi.
cooking.
Same concept, Rabbi.
Nice.
It's all compressed. You don't know which one of the compressed.
But
got
do
the
you
first
think?
hit.
Do you think that the first heat mixes it inside like that?
It's loose bag, it's not
It could be debatable. It could be like shafek.
I don't know.
Okay.
Sometimes
This
it's-
Ravadia didn't write the tea bag. I'm
Sometimes
saying
it's very loose.
okay. If you guys thinking that right now this one,
It's loose.
if you're going to pour hot water directly on it, does it go throughout or does it go first layer?
But the question of what you're saying is, all that matters is which leaves receive the initial impact.
Right.
I don't think that all of
It's
the
all
leaves will
together, yeah.
simultaneously receive the initial
It will
impact,
because
not
it's
one.
limited.
Okay.
It's
Sure.
locked in. It's locked
Could
in.
be. Yeah, I hear your point.
But it's
I hear-
locked in.
So also the
Very
tea bag will be a problem, even if you did it already once before Shabbat.
What I said.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
smart.
What about kettle?
בכל, שמו הוזי לומדי. ועמדת хотя бы полчаса דברי תורה, הלכות учиться. О, слушай, по дороге параша слышите. When you learn, when you drive, learning halachot is very hard. When you drive, learning halachot is very hard.
Rabbi, what about kettle? The small kettle that you...
Чайник.
Чайник, маленький, который чай заваривает. Kettle.
What about it?
So if you doing before Shabbat, with the leaves,
Yeah, then no problem. That's 100% cooked.
So you can add more water into the kettle
Exactly.
why?
with the leaves inside.
Yeah, right,
It's
exactly.
clearly shown, that's why.
It was cooked in the Kli Rishon.
No.
Before Shabbat, it was
I'm not
cooked.
talking about Kli Rishon, I'm talking about the kettle, the small one with the hole inside that you putting that tea inside and then you pouring hot water
Чайник, you
inside.
said, чайник.
Чайник.
The table chainik, the one that they
Yeah.
put on the table. So that's Kli Sheni.
That's also you have a,
How did you pour
It's the same
pour it?
as-
You also have to pour
Same
it.
problem.
It's the same like a
one
cup.
by one? Don't interrupt. It's hard to answer, Pato.
It's the same like a cup. what I did
Yeah,
now, right?
same.
So
No.
we said this
So it's
one-
klishani, it's a problem. We spoke about it.
Same problem.
Yeah, but over there is staying inside. It's like a bag. Now if he's saying the bag is a problem, so then
That's also a problem.
this one is also.
If you pour directly, if you put the tea leaves first, and then from the samovar you want to pour directly on the tea leaves, that's a problem. But if you pour first the hot water into the table chainik, table tea kettle, and then you're gonna put inside the tea, the loose tea, you have whom to rely on. Rabbi Yosef says better to be strict, not to do it there.
This
Better to do klishani and then pour into your
This
empties.
one is problem to do.
Or they have that.
Why is a
Not
problem?
all tea is getting cooked.
Okay, so
All the leaves is not getting.
but if you have a goy, like you always say that you have a goy, that'll be even easier. Because by the goy, the machloket will be on the Rabbanan level, safek the Rabbanan. Lekula.
I go it, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about not go.
By Jew, it's also technically allowed, just better to be strict. If you're putting it in klishani, first the hot water, then you're putting inside the tea leaves. But don't put the tea leaves first and pour on the hot water. This will be 100% Mechalel Shabbat. You understand? Ari, would you ever think making tea on Shabbat equals to smoking cigarette on Shabbat?
You have to dig on this equation, Rabbi.
Shalom, you ever believe such a thing? And in Hashem's eyes, this is worse than married women, than killing
I
children.
think you have to dig. You have to dig on this.
Rabbi
question.
Mizrahi goes to a very graphic. You know how he choking the But that's Be'emet the truth. The truth is that Chilul Shabbat is the worst thing in the whole Torah. And pouring directly from Samavar into the tea leaves, says Rabbi Yosef, you're cooking the tea leaves. Cooking the tea leaves is Chilul Shabbat. That's a Rabotai, we have to learn the Halachot Shabbat Bechorjon. By Parasha Marasha Habibi. It's important, but it's not as important as Halachot
This
Shabbat.
Chinik is also borer because you're filtering all the tea, no?
So we'll learn, if you remember when we learned the laws of Borer, we learned that since the tea, if one of the leaves fall into your chai, you're not going to say, oh, it's I do not
If
drink
it
it.
falls, if it falls.
If it falls into your chai, you're not going to ruin the whole chai. When do we say filtering is a problem to liquid?
Also, it's not bad
Only
because it's
whenever Mexico water, upstate New York water. Remember that the water is not drinkable. So I need a filter.
Rabbi.
But the chai, the water of the chai is drinkable, even if one of the tea leaves is going to go through. So it's not considered to be a mixture.
So there's no bad.
Right. So it's not a mixture. It's not a problem of filtering it. Last question.
Rabbi, so, bless you. The kettle that we're doing on
Sorry.
Shabbat, we're taking
The
tea-
table chanik.
The table,
Yeah.
yeah. So many times I'm seeing over here that the people taking the tea, green tea or black tea, they cooking. They're not re-cooking. I mean,
They're cooking for the first time on Shabbat.
first time on Shabbat.
No
so first
problem.
time Shabbat on klishani is mutar.
In klishani. How klishani? First water, then chai. But not putting the chai and then pour the hot water.
No, it's not good.
First water.
The chai not gonna be mixed in the.
Listen, I don't care how the chai is going to be. I care what halakha is going to be. Halakha, Allah does not allow you to put first the chai and pour directly the hot water on the chai. That's going to be Irui Kli Rishon. Irui Kli Rishon מבשל. ברוך אדוני לעולם. אמן ואמן. רבי חנניה בן הקשיא אומר. Stop the recording. שנאמר אדוני חפץ למען צדקו.